Hi, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. My name is Megan, also known as Nightingale Tarot. I've been a tarot reader for about 26 years and teaching for about 5 years now. If you'd like to visit my website, you'll find the link in the description down below where you can learn how to book a reading. I also do malocchio removals. Keep in mind that even though I live in Honolulu, you do not have to be in Honolulu because almost all of my readings are virtual. So don't hesitate to set a reading up if you are interested. Also, just so you know, the more love and support I get on this channel, the more likely I am to continue creating content. So don't hesitate to like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Turn on notifications. That way you don't miss any new content. And the more you love me, the more I'll make. Today's reading is a pick-a-pile reading, and the topic is, should I stay or should I go? Now, this can be related to a job. For many of you, that's probably what it will be. This can be a relationship, or it can even be a physical location. So keep in mind that in pick-a-pile readings, things are general, so you need to take and receive what resonates with you and leave what doesn't apply to you, because there may be hundreds of people selecting the same pile and every message isn't going to apply to every person. If something is really vibing with you and you feel like you want a specific reading, a deep reading with content just for you, please don't hesitate to reach out and I can definitely get you set up for that. So what do you do now? Like I said, you pick a pile. So you need to take a deep breath, pause the video if you need to, don't overthink it, go with your gut and decide which pile really is speaking to you today. Pile 1 is the selenite stick in the Antique Anatomy deck. Pile 2 is the Guardian of the Night deck and the Amethyst Pendulum. Pile 3 is the Housewives Tarot and the Clear Quartz Palm Stone. So like I said, don't overthink it, just take a breath, go with your gut. Whichever pile speaks to you, that's your pile. You'll find the timestamps down in the description so you can go straight to the reading of the pile that you chose. Don't forget to comment because I love to hear what you have to say. I want to hear how that pile resonated with you, and I love to engage with my viewers. So let's get started. Okay, pile 1. This is for you. So let's take a look. Should you stay or should you go? So this, as almost all of the spreads I work with, is a custom spread that I designed myself. I like to essentially separate what we're looking at into two separate piles, essentially two separate paths that let us look at how would it feel, what might you experience along each path. And I'll explain that a little more in a second once we have all our cards out. I'll be quiet for a second because people love to hear shuffling on these videos. So I'll hush my mouth while I shuffle. Okay, pile 1. So this is how this spread works. This is what you're likely to experience if you stay. This is what you're likely to experience if you go. This usually ends up being the deciding factor. So let's get into that. If you stay, whether we're looking at a job, a relationship, a location, whatever it is that you're thinking about in your mind that led you to choose this pile, if you stay, you're very likely to experience a sensation of what if. There is a, I don't necessarily want to call it regret, but kind of a wondering. This is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is a what goes up must come down. What's down eventually will also go back up. There's a lot of fate underpinnings within the energy of this card. And I think if you stay, you're always going to wonder what would have happened if you had gone, and how that would have felt, and have a little sense of like did I miss out on some destiny? Did I miss out on a little slice of my destiny? Was there an opportunity that was presented to me that I should have taken that I didn't? So pile one, those of you who are thinking about should I stay or should I go, if you have an opportunity in front of you that is urging you to go, and you're wondering about that opportunity, this card in this particular reading really is kind of urging you to go ahead and do that and to take that opportunity. It's almost like a little nod from the universe saying, yep, this is for sure an opportunity I am presenting to you, and I want you to take it, and I'm going to open up things for you. And this is almost like the reason you want to go is you were at the right place at the right time, and here is this new opportunity. So whether this is a job, a location, or possibly a relationship, that's how you're going to feel if you stay where you are. Now let's look at what might you experience, thoughts, feelings, if you go. This is almost childlike excitement at this new opportunity. So this really actually looks quite exciting for you. Whatever this thing is that's leading you on this other path, this looks like, I don't want to say dream come true. That's a little aggressive for this energy, but it's just very much a new opportunity to do something new and different, and to see the world and your surroundings through fresh eyes, almost like from a childlike perspective. And if that is something that appeals to you, and you're looking for that, then whatever this opportunity is that's presenting itself to you is going to give you that. So if you found yourself, as of late, sitting back and saying, I feel like I need a fresh start. I feel like I need a new start. I feel like I need to get my sense of wonder back. I feel like I need to get my sense of passion back. I want to try something new. This is the path that is being presented to you. And that's how you're going to feel if you go ahead and take it. Now, whenever I combine these things together and I look at what is the ultimate deciding factor here, I think the deciding factor here is you getting over your fear of leaving behind what's comfortable. I think you are in whatever this situation is that we're looking at in this pile is very much a source of comfort for you. There's a sense of nostalgia when it comes to where you are, that you just feel really comfortable. This may be your childhood home. This may be, a relationship that involves like a high school sweetheart, something that's been in your life for a very long time. And I really believe that the thing that's truly holding you back from just, walking along and taking this opportunity is this fear of leaving this comfort, of leaving this almost childhood home sense of comfort, and what's going to happen when you go. So I think it's important to keep that in mind as you're looking at this opportunity, that really the only negative I see is coming from your own fear. So for me, this pile 1, is definitely leaning more towards go. I'm not one to tell people what to do. I think you need to do what feels right for you. But this pile definitely looks like an important opportunity being presented to you that's going to allow you a fresh start, a new set of eyes, a new sense of wonder. And if you can get over that need to stay in your comfort zone and allow yourself to step out, this is that opportunity. I hope that helps you. I would love to hear in the comments what you think about that and how this resonates with you and what this opportunity is for those of you who are listening. So that is pile 1, and now I will move on to pile 2. All right. We are coming in hot with pile 2. Pile 2. Let's see. Should you stay or should you go? Keep in mind, this could be a job. This could be a relationship. This could even be a physical location. And once again, this is a spread that I designed the concept of this, and I use it all the time with my private clients. It's going to involve us essentially splitting this question into 2 separate paths, and we're going to look at what you might experience if you stay, and then we're going to look at what you might experience if you go, and then we're going to sort of combine those things and look at what the deciding factor is to help you make this decision. Maybe what's holding you back, or maybe what you should be focusing on. So that's how we're going to look at this. And I'll be quiet while I shuffle here for a second, because I know people love to hear shuffling on these videos. So bear with me while I shuffle, and then we'll get into the reading. Okay, pile 2. So first, let's look at, if you stay, what are you likely to experience? I feel like you have worked very hard to get where you are on this particular path, whether this be within your relationship, whether this be the location you're living, whether this be a job. I don't know what situation you were thinking of specifically when you chose this pile, but whatever that situation is, was a real labor of love for you to get there. And I think that if you stay, you will feel a real sense of satisfaction actually surrounding that. It's like, I kept my eyes on the prize. I worked super hard. There was a lot of willpower. There was a lot of discipline. Just keep going and there will be victory. So it feels to me like my pile 2 people who chose this pile are likely working towards something. And the question is, should I continue working towards that thing, or should I pack it up, turn around, go do something else? That really looks like your question here. It's not necessarily, I'm in this thing, I've done it, should I stay or should I go? But I'm working towards this thing, should I continue working towards this thing? That looks more like this. According to this, if you stay and continue working on this thing, there will be, like I said, a real sense of satisfaction, a real sense of, yeah, I accomplished that goal. I did it. I worked hard. I poured my heart into it, and I did it. I overcame the obstacles. Everything that was thrown my way, I persevered and I pushed through, and I did it. That is how this path feels if you continue. Now, let's move on to what you might experience or how you might feel if you turn around and walk away from this path. Whatever you're looking at going towards, the other path, if you will, whatever you're looking at moving towards when you leave this path that you're on, does not appear to challenge you the same way. It is likely a safer path. And I think that is probably what's making it so intriguing. It's a safer path. It's a solid, steady option that involves likely less risk, likely less challenge, but also a lot less excitement, a lot less of that sense of reward, and a lot less fulfillment. So I think that if you walk away from the path that you're on and you go to whatever this other path is that you're looking at, that you were thinking about when you chose this pile, I think you're likely to get a little bored, honestly, with how secure and stable this path is. And I think that the hard work and the the actual difficulty with this path is part of the allure here with the path that you're on, whereas this other path is like the safe bet. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes when I talk, I'm like, am I even making, is it just verbal diarrhea? Am I even making sense? I don't know. I guess you'll tell me if I'm not, or if I am. Now let's look at what the deciding factor is. I truly believe the deciding factor here for you, the reason why you're struggling with this decision, is because you have something to prove. I feel like you have something to prove. I'm trying to think of another way to say it without saying the same thing 15 times. You have something to prove. Yeah, I heard you. There's a sense of you need to be right. And I think that a lot of people are probably urging you down this safe path, and you're sticking to this more difficult, more challenging, but also more rewarding path. And I think you're asking yourself, am I sticking to this super challenging path because this is what I want to do? Or am I sticking to this super challenging path because I have a need to be defiantly correct and defiantly right? Or is it that you are concerned that if you stick with this super challenging path, you may actually wind up severing some relationships here? Because a lot of people are likely telling you this path is not good, it's the obstacles, it's the challenges, go to this safer path, it's lovely and serene and smooth and safe, and you are fearful that if you don't go to this lovely, smooth, serene, safe path, that you're going to essentially wind up dissolving these relationships of these people who are essentially giving you advice. So that's the real crux of the matter here. And anytime I see this in a reading, I always ask my client to quiet the noise of the people around them. Turn inward and really spend some time reflecting on what you think and what you want and how you feel, and try to listen to what your gut is telling you without concerning yourself over the potential loss of these relationships, of these people who are saying, if you don't do this path, I'm never going to talk to you again. You know, so be it. That may be a bridge that you will have to burn in order to be happy. I don't know, because I'm not in the business of telling people what to do. I am in the business of telling people how they may feel or what they may find whenever they go along certain paths. So I think the real root of this is that you need to decide, am I going to stick with the challenging path because the reward is so great? And I know that this path is going to be successful. I can see that. That is inherently part of this card. Is that worth it to you? Is that worth the risk? And you're the only one that can decide that. Versus everybody's happy, everything is stable, I'm safe, I'm secure, this is the safe, even, steady Eddie path. No one's going to fight with me about it. Everyone's happy with it. I'm a little bored. I don't feel challenged. You know, this isn't necessarily what I want to do, but it's the safe and secure path. So you get to decide how you feel about each of these paths and what your next step is. But this is what I see. Should you stay? Should you go? And why you feel that way. So pile 2, that's your reading. I hope that helps you. Leave me some comments. If you have questions, that's fine too. I would like to hear why you chose this pile and how it's resonating with you. Okay, moving in with pile 3. All right, pile 3. Let's see what the cards have to say to you. Now, once again, this is a spread that the concept I designed myself. I use it all the time with clients whenever we're looking at 2 different paths. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I do this or should I do that? I love looking at situations this way. It's usually very insightful and very helpful. People really enjoy the insight it brings to have their situation looked at through this type of lens. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll explain it to you as I put these cards out. But for now, I'm going to be quiet while I shuffle because people love to hear shuffling. So I'll just keep my mouth shut for a bit while we shuffle and get these cards out, and then we'll get into your reading. Okay, too much shuffling, too much. Back it up, back it up. All right. Less aggressive shuffling. There we go. Okay. Isn't this the most fun deck? This Housewives Tarot is so cute. It's so unique, and I just love it. Okay, pile 3. So first we're going to look at if you stay on this path, whether it be a job, a relationship, a physical location, you know, whatever it is, staying on this path, and how does it feel? Here's how it feels. You are bored. You are hella bored. This path is so stable and so safe and so secure that you're bored. And I don't think that's going to change. You staying where you are, staying on this path, staying in whatever it is you had in your mind when you decided to choose pile 3. I don't know what it was, but you were thinking of something. You're just bored. I feel like you're being taken for granted here. You're probably taking things for granted here. I often see this particular card when it comes to relationships that have run their course. So you can take that if that resonates with you. Just any situation, honestly, where you're just bored. I mean, there's just no passion here. I don't know how many ways I can say it. I mean, I think you understand what I'm saying. You're bored. And you will continue to be bored if you stay where you are. So if you're thinking, oh, if I hang in a little longer, maybe I won't be taken for granted anymore. That's the other big energy. Now let's talk about that for a second. Since this is a general reading and this is going to resonate with different people differently, there's a chunk of you that are really, really bored where you are and it's stagnant, and that's why you want to go. There's another chunk of you out there listening right now who are being taken for granted where you are. And it feels like there's no passion if it's a relationship. It feels like you're underappreciated if this is a job. It's that sort of situation. You're being taken for granted. So when it's a general reading like that, you need to decide which one of those facets of energy of this card applies to you. And that's what's going on. It's not delightful. So now let's look at if you go. If you go, I think that there's a bit of a slow start when you go. However, there's also the promise of payoff. If you look closely at this card, you will see that we are scrubbing a toilet with toothbrushes. Which I just love. I love that because that is the slowest, most horrendous way to scrub a toilet, right? I mean, like, can you imagine getting in and scrubbing all the little surfaces of a toilet with a toothbrush? However, you will get that toilet cleaner than any toilet has ever been in the history of toilets if you use a toothbrush. And that's sort of the energy of if you go. Likely a longer and more painful process than you want. There may be quite a sense of impatience where it's like, okay, I'm doing this new thing now. Where's my payoff? So you have to be patient. You have to understand that there is hard work and almost like a rebuilding aspect of if you go. However, your payoff is fantastic. Your payoff is great. So take that and do what you want with it. You can stay really safe and stable, or you can move to something that involves a lot of hard work and a lot of rebuilding and a lot of patience. But the payoff is fantastic. So there's that. Now I want to actually put, which is not something I do often, but I feel like I want to put a clarifier out on my final card here that talks about what is the deciding factor, or what is the holdup, or what is the overall energy here that's making this even a decision for you. Like, why did you come to this reading? Why did you pick pile 3? What is it about this that's either holding you back or wanting to propel you forward? And I just want to make sure that I am looking at this exactly correctly before I start advising you. Once again, aggressive shuffling. All right, there's my clarifier. Yeah, okay. That helps me. I think that your fear regarding a change in paths is that the people around you, your friends, your friend group, will view your decision as rash, or as, I didn't think this through. It was really sudden, even though you've actually been putting a lot of thought into this. I think you've been milling this around in your mind for a long time. I don't know that you've told a lot of people about it. And so I think that's your hesitation is, will this look impulsive, irresponsible, reckless, and not thought out to the people around me? So I want you to take some time to really explore that and examine that and ask yourself, A, why do you care what the people around you think? And maybe you have a really good reason for that. And if so, you need to, explore that. But that is the holdup here. If you're wondering what it is in your subconscious, likely subconscious, maybe conscious, maybe you're really consciously aware of this, I don't know. But this is likely in your subconscious that you are not fully aware of the fact that the big holdup is your fear of how others will see you, specifically that others will see you as reckless, irresponsible, and impulsive. That's the word I'm looking for, impulsive. So perhaps, just as a bit of unsolicited advice, perhaps you should consider starting to talk to the people around you about this path that you've been thinking about, and let them know that you've been thinking about it for a long time and that you might be about to make a decision that may look irresponsible, because sometimes when you jump ship from something that is really stable, really solid, like really squared away and foundation laid out, to something that is not well built, that needs a lot of work, that involves a lot of time to get going, sometimes that can appear irresponsible. So it may be that you just need to talk this out with people. A good example of this would be leaving a steady job to start your own business, and people thinking that you are crazy for doing that and that it wasn't well thought out. So if that resonates with you, then you definitely chose the right pile, because that's exactly what I'm looking at. And the advice surrounding that is that it works. Leaving that steady job to start your own thing works. Leaving that steady job to move to like a startup company or something that seems like, oh my God, this is such a big risk. Hard work, but amazing payoff. So that's a message that came through here right at the end. That is pile 3. I hope this helps you. I hope you're able to use this insight to make some good decisions. And please leave me a comment below as to how this resonated with you, why you chose pile 3. I love to hear from you, or if you have any questions. All right, have a good day.